Good day. My name is Okonkwo Amy. Our today's class about Python programming with PictoBlocks was a wonderful one. I learned a lot. We are taught on how to make a small program whereby this sprite to be made to calculate simple interest and amounts. To write this program, fundamentally, we were taught to define a function. And in Python, in order to define function, it goes like this. So this is my function. I'm calling it simple interest calculator. At the end of every function, there must be semicolon. And you notice that after the semicolon, the program is automatically indented. From here, we can calculate the amount by doing amount is equal to principal plus, I would like to use bracket open, principal times rate times time divided by 100. I think that's the, after doing this calculation in this function, it will also be good if we return the amount. If I don't want to return this amount from this point, I can actually remove this one. And in order to remove that one, I can put an hash. Then I can equally perform return from this point here. And I may not be needing the whole of this. Okay, so I can actually perform my return from that point. Okay, after writing the function, we need another program capable of calling that function. To get the program that will call that function, we need to do sprite.input. So this command will enable us to take the principal, enter the principal. So with this command, Toby will echo and give us the box that will enable us to enter principal. And to pick the value from Toby, we also have to do sprite.answer. Something like this. Now, it will be good to create a variable that will hold this value, this response from Toby. And the variable will be called principal. All right. So from this point like this, the principal will now be picked to that point. Okay, Toby's response is usually a string value. So there will be need to converting it to float value. So I have to put float. I can actually copy paste this program since I equally need it for rate, and I also need it for time. So I will change this variable here to rate. And I will also change this thing to please enter the rate. I will have to equally change this principal to time. And I will have to change this command to also please enter time. All right, so having done this, it is time to print out the final answer. But before printing out the final answer, it's obvious that the function simple interest calculator is yet to be called. So I want to call that function from this point. And to call that function, I have many ways I could do that, but let me just call it within the sprites, the function called say. The function called say can take string parameter, one string parameter, the amount. I equally need to concatenate. I need to concatenate this value with a call for the simple calculator. I will have to pass in 3 variables: principal. During the function call, I'll have to pass in 3 variables: principal, rate, and also time. Okay, now the problem with this is that this is a floating value, and Toby cannot say floating value. Toby can only say string value. So there will be need to typecast this parameter to string value. In Python, to convert this to string value will be XTR. The duration in which each of the prompts is going to come up also, or the final answer is going to be displayed. I want to do that for 2 seconds. After 2 seconds, the value can now disappear. Okay, now that I have done this, it is time to test run to know if there are errors in my program. Okay, the program required that I enter my principal. So let me say principal is 10,000. And let's say my rate is 20%. And let's say the duration is just 3%. Oh, I have an error. So let me quickly check why there is an error. Position argument. Okay, I forgot to pass in the 3 variables when I created the function, which would have been principal, rate, and also time. Okay, good. So let me run again. Principal, I say 10,000. Rate, 10%. Time, 2 years. And my answer is 12,000. I think that is wonderful. I enjoyed my program today. And of course, thank you, STEMPEDIA.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Wonderful.